is important to help show you a variety of ways to select a speech topic. For example, where to look for topics and how to be specific and narrow down your topic, allowing you to better fit your speech into a given time frame. Arlinda has done dozens of speeches on a wide variety of topics. She is currently our Vice President of Education and an active member of our club. Please help me welcome Arlinda Smith with Selecting Your Topic. Selecting Your Topic, Arlinda Smith.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and of course, our most honored guest. As Toastmasters, we're asked to use our manuals and give speeches with specific guidelines. But in your own personal life, you're also asked to give speeches, whether it's in your business, or in your church, or in your civic activities. And sometimes you may find it difficult to come up with a topic. A topic off the top of your head when you're a very, very busy person, as we all are today, can sometimes be a little difficult. But don't be discouraged, because today we're going to see a couple of techniques that can help you minimize that effort if you follow them, so that you will be able to have your speech topics readily available for you. First, we have our personal experiences to draw from. So what we're doing is we are thinking about where we can get possible speech topics from. Family. If you're a family person, what stories can you tell or speeches can you give about your family? About your ancestors, as Carrie has done, as Conda has done, as many of us have done in Toastmasters. I spoke about my grandmother, didn't I, in Toastmasters. That's a well, you can speak about your children. You can speak about your children. How about your profession? Everyone in this room has some kind of a profession or has had a profession. Tell us about some exciting times you've had selling iText, Ken. Or Jim is an accountant. I know you must have some interesting stories to tell. But everyone, and in every profession there's an interesting story to tell. Your personal interests. Ken and I are going hiking now, and for Easter I gave a last-minute speech on hiking with my family over the Easter weekend. And we're full of experiences. Conda's given us a lot of experiences about his family and his trips and his interests. Also, I don't want to miss education. Perhaps your education has led you to some interesting findings about things, and you could give us information about that. There are also reference materials to pull from. My goodness, if you're in an impasse and can't think of anything to write about, then go to your books, go to your library. There's an endless supply of reference materials and topics you can choose from. Magazines. Oh, that's another interesting topic. There are Birds and Blooms magazines that Ken and I are looking at now, because we want to be able to identify all the birds and plant life and everything that we see on our hikes. It makes it more interesting to stay in shape and keep fit. Newspapers. I don't know, perhaps most of you read the newspaper. I know I read it to the residents that I work with on most days, and there are some very interesting topics. You might want to jot some of those down so that you can give speeches and talks. And don't forget to cut out your article. Don't forget to cut out that article. And today we have the internet. You can go on the internet and you can find information on just about everything. Once I wanted to give a speech about fans in the Victorian era. I went to the internet and got all the information I needed and did my research, found out how it was fascinating it could be, and I came and I shared it with my fellow Toastmasters, and they were happy about that too. The next thing you want to do is you want to consider your situation. We all know that the more we can be inspired by a topic, and the more interesting we can make that topic, the more enthusiasm that we will share among our fellow Toastmasters or in any speech situation. And you will be able to spread that joy, spread that enthusiasm. So what I want you to do is get a little notebook. Carry a little notebook with you that you can put in your pocket or your glove compartment. And as you go around every day on a day-to-day basis, once you start working in Toastmasters, you're going to hear about things or you're going to see things. Then you say, hey, that would make a great speech topic, but if you don't write it down, what's going to happen?
You're going to forget.
You're going to forget it. You're going to go home and say, gee, I know I had something today. What was it? Well, don't lose those moments. Please write it down on a piece of paper so that you have it readily available. Even if you don't use that possible speech topic today, immediately, you are going to have a file of possible speech topics that you could talk about. And sometimes you can break those speech topics down into segments, can't you? So that you have many speeches to give from one speech topic. So you may want to leave a few lines, you can make a few notes to yourself. What about that topic have you already spoken about when? Try that. Then you want to ask yourself, consider the situation. What does your audience want to hear? What do they already know? What do they want to hear? Kind of like timely material, right? What is the occasion of your speech? Are you giving a speech like I am today? And so I decide, or the program decides, what would the visiting people today in Speechcraft like to hear most about? Well, how about choosing a topic? Or it could be out in your own personal life. What does your club and organization want to hear about? Maybe they want to know about how do we get more members or how do we get volunteers? And what are your own abilities? What do you know about getting volunteers? Maybe you know a lot. Maybe you won't have to do much referencing. But maybe you don't know a lot, and maybe you're going to have to read up a little bit and take some more notes for yourself before you can do that. So make sure you look at the referencing. And make sure that you are specific. This is important. In Toastmasters, we start off after your icebreaker speech. In our first manual, most of the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. So you're going to talk about how to bring in volunteers. You're going to have to choose points that go under your topic. So that and each point, let's say you have 3 points under your main topic for a 5 to 7 minute speech. Each of those points is roughly a table topic. A couple of minutes. That would be 2, 4, 6, 30 seconds for your opening, 30 seconds for your close. Kind of tighten it up a little bit, and you have a speech. That's why it's important not to cram everything you know about a subject into that 5-minute speech. Maybe you could actually break up that volunteer speech into 3 different speeches. Talk about 3 different things and break it down even more for us. It not only gives you more speeches, but it gives us more information. It makes our meeting just a little more interesting. So we also want to know how we can cut our speech. So when you're looking at your possible speech topic and you start outlining your speech, you have to ask yourself, what is possible for me to cut out this time? How am I being too long-winded? What am I saying that could be said in another speech? So you start making your editing and cutting things out. And that goes over perhaps into another pile, which is possible speeches. Or sometimes you might be just the opposite, have the opposite problem, as some of us do sometimes. We don't have enough material to cover that speech. Then what do? Then we have to go back and we have to look for more interesting points that we could fill in with what we have. Or maybe we want to start over. Maybe we have
is important to help show you a variety of ways to select a speech topic. For example, where to look for topics and how to be specific and narrow down your topic, allowing you to better fit your speech into a given time frame. Arlinda has done dozens of speeches on a wide variety of topics. She is currently our Vice President of Education and an active member of our club for 7 years.